You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. We have breaking news out of the Luzerne County Courthouse, where a suspected serial killer pled guilty to the murders of 2 women. 42-year-old Harold David Holman III of Duncannon entered the guilty plea this afternoon in order to avoid the death penalty for the brutal murders of both 25-year-old Tiana Phillips of Berwick back in 2018 and 26-year-old Erica Schultz of Bloomsburg last year. Holman allegedly assaulted and bludgeoned both women to death before placing their bodies in the same wooded area. President Judge Michael Vo gave Holman 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole, stating, "You are evil. You took the lives of these women for no reason whatsoever." Holman also previously confessed to killing Ashley Parlier of Michigan back in 2005 and pled guilty to manslaughter in Germany back in 1999. Police in Luzerne County are investigating another drive-by shooting. The most recent incident happened near the Sherman Hills apartment complex in Wilkes-Barre around 5 Tuesday evening. Police in Hanover Township are still investigating 2 previous drive-by shootings that happened in the township on Sunday. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, but there's still no word as to whether any of these shooting incidents are related at this time. An investigation is underway into an incident where someone allegedly threw a cat out of a car window Tuesday morning, causing its death. Police were called to Exit 3 on PA 309 southbound near Rudder Avenue just before 9 Tuesday morning for reports of a black and white cat being thrown out of a car. When police arrived on scene, they sadly observed blood around the deceased cat. A witness reported seeing a small, old, red Toyota that was low to the ground come onto 309 from Exit 4, Kingston 44. That's when someone in the car with a tattoo on their left arm made an obscene gesture as they passed the witness and proceeded to throw the cat out of the window. Anyone with information or security footage near Rudder Avenue can contact Trooper Matthew Slackdish at 570-821-4110. The 166th annual Bloomsburg Fair is right around the corner. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich stopped by Media Day today for the details on what to expect this year.
The Bloomsburg Fair is back after an interruption last year due to COVID. Fair officials hosted their annual Media Day where everyone was glad to be back in person. But no one was happier to bring the event back to the community more than the officials.
You don't know how good you have it till you miss it, and we missed last year, and it was a lonely week. It really was. It's been a lonely year without the fair. It is so exciting to be back, and there seems to be, from the fairs that have already happened, there seems to be great excitement for fairs and outside activities such as the Bloomsburg Fair.
The fair not only brings in food, fun, and entertainment, but it's also a big economic boost for Columbia County and surrounding areas.
Our community is excited that the fair is happening. There's so many people in the community come here and work. They pay their bills this way. They pay their taxes, their heating bills. All the local people park cars on their lots, and it's a real revenue maker, not for the fair, but for the whole county. And then the locals are looking forward to coming to the fair also.
This year's activities promise something for everyone.
Well, definitely our highlights are our concerts, and even the demo derbies and the tractor pulls. They are really popular around here. You would think a big name entertainer would draw as many people more people than a demo derby, but it doesn't. The people just love the demo derbies. That monster truck show, we're getting so much good conversation about the monster truck show.
And if you love animals, be sure to check out the livestock exhibits.
This is Psycho. He is a yearling ram. We'll be in the outside arena. We talk 3 times a day, so if anybody wants to see us talk about these, go to the fair.
When they're not teaching people about livestock, the siblings like to check out other aspects of the fair.
I like going to my cousin Lottie's stand because I can get grilled cheese there. I love getting grilled cheese from her stand.
And for those who don't quite yet feel comfortable in large crowds because of the virus, Karshner has some date and time recommendations to come out to enjoy the fair.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are our slowest days. The earlier in the day is even slower than the later in the day. After lunch, middle of the afternoon, people start to come for supper and dinner and bring the kids out then. But in the mornings and midday is a really good time to come to the fair.
To purchase tickets, you can visit bloomsburgfair.com. And be sure to watch WYLN News all next week for special segments and for your chance to win tickets to the 2021 Bloomsburg Fair. In Bloomsburg, for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thanks, Julie. Now I'm craving grilled cheese. Free potassium iodide tablets will be distributed to Pennsylvanians living or working within 10 miles of the state's 4 active nuclear power plants. In our area, the Susquehanna Steam Electric Station will hand them out tomorrow, September 9th, from 2 until 7 p.m., as well as at LCCC's Nanticoke campus, the Butler Township Community Center, and the Salvation Army Community Corps building in Berwick with no appointment necessary. KI helps to protect the thyroid gland against harmful radioactive iodine and can safely be taken by anyone not allergic to it. They can also be requested for other family members or those unable to get their own. Visit health.pa.gov for more on KI tablets and nuclear power plant safety. A local Korean War vet and award-winning writer released his new book, recounting when a Navy corpsman saved his life. Our Philip Kaufman has more on the story of Joe Barna.
Here at the Freeland American Legion, I met with 91-year-old Joe Barna, a local Korean War veteran and writer whose book, God Made Angels and Navy Corpsmen, is published and available for purchase. We spoke to Joe on his life, his service, and his book.
I was in the Marine Corps in Korea. I served 13 months with the 1st Marine Division. I went over there in May of '52, and I left there at July 27, 1953, when they called a ceasefire.
In July of 1952, during a battle in Korea, a shell came in and knocked Joe on his back.
And I was laying on my back. I couldn't move. I seen a figure coming at me in the trench. He was doing a lunge at me. When I turned, he caught me in my left arm, but then I had a weapon attached to my flamethrower, which I swung around, and I think I blew him in half. I'm not sure. I never looked. But then I was bleeding, ready to fall asleep, and I hear a voice say, Joe, if I don't stop that bleeding, you're going to bleed to death. So here was Doc Kilmer. He was a Navy corpsman, 21 years old. But he said, I'm going to stop that blood. So he took the flamethrower off my back, carried me into a bunker, and there was one Marine there. He held a candle, and Doc Kilmer sewed my arm shut with a needle and thread.
Navy Corpsman John Kilmer would eventually go into another battle a month later, risking his life.
So they had him in a bunker when he heard somebody outside hollering, Doc, Hawk. So he looked out, he saw a Marine laying there, wounded. He tried to crawl out to treat him. And they told him, they said, Doc, if you go out there, you're going to die. He said, if I don't go out there, he'll die. They patched him up a little bit. He crawled out, and he treated the Marine. And they start shelling heavy again. Doc laid on top of the Marine to protect him. And when he did, a shell landed feet away from him. 18 pieces of shrapnel entered his body, and he died. Doc Kilmer was the bravest man I ever met in my life.
Joe ended up writing his stories for the Progress magazine, recounting his tales of service, and that collection of writings is what makes his book today.
So we'd sent the papers into the publisher, and he kind of liked it. He said, it's exciting, it's good. So we finally got the book published, and I dedicated the book to a Navy corpsman who saved my life, and I dedicated the book to my wife who died in December of 2020. It's my life, but the words I put in this book are the words I have lived. A lot of things in here, it could include you as you read it. That could have happened to you. It happened to me, believe me. I lived one hell of a life in my 91 years. I did a lot of things in my life, and I never quit.
You can find Joe Barna's book on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble and Target, and more. Thank you, Joe, for your story and your service. Reporting from the Freeland American Legion with WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. Coming up on WYLN News, Sports Talk tonight, plus 9/11 aftermath and the world of sports. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old. It's kind of partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super, man. 570-497-4150.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Hazleton. Let's make this the summer event. Put you and your family in one of these great looking Grand Cherokee Limited L's. We have over 8 in stock. Or if you want something more rugged, how about a 2021 Ram Rebel? How about the 2021 Jeep Renegade? Save over $5,000. We have over 25 to choose from. Whether you're looking new or used, stop down and check out the huge selection of Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and you'll find out why we take the deals those other guys won't.
Tonight, local sports fans, we've got episode 3 of Sports Talk coming your way. Tune in tonight at 7 for host Marty Burns' Game of the Week discussions with Hazleton area head coach Dennis Bookman. Tonight's episode features wide receiver Connor Shamani and a sneak peek of what's to come when the Cougars make their way down to Crispin Memorial Friday night to face the Bulldogs. You can catch the replays Thursday night at 6 and 8, Friday at 1:30 and 6, and both Saturday and Sunday at 12:30. So check back tonight at 7 for another episode of Sports Talk right here on WYLN TV. And with that, our WYLN sports crew is gearing up to bring you game number 3 of the 2021 high school football season. We kick off with some live Bulldog Cougar action this Friday, September 10th, when Hazleton makes their way down to Crispin Memorial to face Berwick. Tune in for your Friday night fill of Marty Burns, Joe DeMelfi, and our WYLN sports crew, bringing you the event, not just the highlights. Sponsored by Lehigh Valley Health Network, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner. No plans Friday night? No problem. Got some? Well, cancel them. Instead, tune in for your weekly dose of Friday night football and all the live local action right here on WYLN TV. WYLN's all-time OT hero, Marty Burns, has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. So, let's talk sports.
Welcome to Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Blaze Alexander Family Dealership, Hazleton. And coming up this Saturday, it is September 11th, 2021, the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attacks on our great country, which included New York City. And Major League Baseball, we talked about it back in July, did a great job of scheduling the Yankees and Mets to play their second of 3 in the Subway Series Saturday nights on September 11th, commemorating the 20-year anniversary. And of course, the Mets were very big in trying to get New York back to where it once was after the terrorist attacks. They had like a shelter set up at Shea Stadium 20 years ago, led by their pitcher John Franco, amongst others in the Mets organization. And sports was a way that we got back to somewhat of normalcy, and especially in New York, it reminds me of Mark Messier of the Rangers wearing a fire chief's hat with a photo of one of the Chiefs who happened to be the first captain of the FDNY hockey team who perished in 9/11. And when you get to the World Series in Game 3 and President Bush comes out to throw out the first pitch, and he said to Derek Jeter, what do you think, should I throw from in front of the mound? He said, no, you got to throw from the mound. But on his way out, he made sure to tell him, don't bounce it because they'll boo you. And then those 3 games in New York were just electric, with Tino Martinez and Scott Brocious hitting game-tying home runs in the 9th inning in games 4 and 5. And with everything pushed back, the World Series played in November, and Jeter was given the moniker Mr. November as October 31st turned into November 1st for Game 4. Jeter hit the extra inning home run to give the Yankees the win in Game 4. But I always think back to September 21st, We did a football game down at Harmon-Guy Stadium, and I really don't remember who the Cougars played. I believe the Cougars won, but what I remember is the pregame ceremony that they put together to honor all the first responders in our area, because after 9/11 we all focused so much on first responders, and Hazleton area did a great job of honoring those. And I remember my dad and I, after the game, making one pit stop before we headed home, and caught the end of the first game in New York since 9/11, and it was the Braves and the Mets, and the Braves were leading the Mets 2-1 in the 8th inning when Mike Piazza came up and hit a mammoth 2-run home run to give the Mets the win, 3-2. And I say the win, even though the Braves started another at bat. You knew once Piazza hit that home run that the Mets weren't going to lose that game. So as we get to 9/11 on Saturday, as we always say, it's a day we will never forget.
Coming up on Chick Shinny's News Choice, we bring back our visit to a local OBGYN on this Wellness Wednesday in Community and You. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 3. Stay with us.
Burger's Family Farm, roadside market located in Drums, is a growing family farm since 1889. If you're looking for good health, look no further than the Burger Family Farm. You'll find a variety of fresh-picked daily from the fields, seasonal vegetables and fruits, as well as fresh-cut flower arrangements. Pick fresh daily corn, peppers, tomatoes, potatoes, and so much more. Beginning in October, you can take a hayride through the pumpkin patch and pick your own pumpkin. Decorative gourds, haystacks, cornstalks, and Indian corn for your home. Burger's Family Market is home to Preservers of the Past, weekend in September, showcasing antique farm equipment, lifestyles of yesteryear, and more. Visit Burger Family Farm on Facebook for more information. Fresh from the Farm, brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network. In life, we have many kinds of partners. Shouldn't you have a partner when it comes to your health? Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
2020, it was certainly challenging, but now there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is certainly bright. Enjoy our world-renowned water parks, classic resorts, breathtaking views, fabulous food. 2021 has arrived. We are back better than ever. Let's enjoy it. Find your enjoyment waiting at PoconoMountains.com.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
Welcome to Community and You here on WYLN, and look, it's Wednesday, which means it's Wellness Wednesday, thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. And today we are on location at the Desson Center on Alliance Drive with Dr. Patrick Fierro, OBGYN, who's here to talk with us today a little bit about general gynecology, but let me narrow it down a little bit for you. Mom and Dad, your little girl might not be so little anymore, and it might be time to consider scheduling her for her first gynecologist appointment. You know, what's a good age?
Absolutely. The current recommendation is to start GYN examination at the age of 21. When I first started practice, the recommendation was the age of 18 or first sexual contact. We do recommend that if a woman has been sexually active within 3 years of first sexual contact, that she start having GYN examinations. Most important thing is to get a woman on board with contraception at any age, especially if they're sexually active, and or protective measures to protect against sexually transmitted diseases, because those things are important. We have to remember that although the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology is recommending the first pap smear at the age of 21, those are just guidelines, not mandates. So you really have to individualize treatment and recommendations for each patient. A woman should have an annual examination, annual meaning every year. Pap smears and other screening tests, pap smear being a screening test, is something that's done on a yearly basis depending on whether or not she's had normal pap smears in the past. If a woman has had 3 normal pap smears, we can then stretch out the time limit on pap smears to 3 years. We do reflexive human papillomavirus screening for pap smears. If the pap smear was negative for HPV, we then can stretch it out to 5 years. So that's something that we recommend at all age groups.
Now, we called, we scheduled. Walking into that appointment, what should that young woman expect?
Well, nothing terrible. It's not a torturous examination. Most gynecologists are extremely sensitive to the fact that this is a very sensitive area, and it's a sensitive area both physically and emotionally. So we're very careful as far as doing an examination on a woman, and she should expect to be examined entirely. Now, most gynecologists do a full physical examination, meaning heart, lungs, abdomen. We do breast examinations. We recommend self-breast examinations as well. She will have a pelvic examination depending on whether or not she's sexually active, and in most instances a rectal as well.
When you mentioned contraception, there's a lot of options out there for young women considering getting on the pill, getting an implant?
Oh, there's a lot of options, and anywhere from barrier methods such as male condoms, there's female condoms, there are diaphragm cervical caps. You can get not only the pill, which is once a day, but there's the patch, which is once a week, or a ring, which is applied once a month. There are injections once every 3 months. There's an implantable, which is the same as an injection, which goes into the forearm, and that's good for 3 years. The old recommendation was intrauterine devices. Shouldn't be used unless a woman's had children, but now we apply them even for women who haven't had children because they're safer, and they're a lot easier to apply, and they don't cause cervical incontinence or anything of that sort. And if a woman's in a monogamous relationship and not practicing dangerous sexual practices, then an IUD is a recommendation. And we've got them for 5 years all the way up to 10 years. And these are all viable solutions. And of course, there's permanent sterilization. And a lot of women are vying for that option. But I wouldn't recommend that until past the age of 30. I know some doctors do it sooner, but I've seen a lot of regrets in women below that age.
There's nothing to be scared of. Your gynecologist is here for you. Thank you for joining us on this Wellness Wednesday in Community and You. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Lauren Sacco's leading the way again into part 3 of this week's series. And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Hazleton City Councilwoman Lauren Sacco. Now, so far we've already had Tony Colombo and we've had Jim Perry on for Leading the Way, but explain what your role is as Lauren on City Council and where your focuses lie.
I kind of like to think that I'm a little bit more of the gap between everybody. Jimmy is a perfect president because he is a gentleman who is very wise and has a lot of experience. Tony is an excellent gentleman as well because he has a heart as big as the universe. He will not see you go without a meal. I mean, through COVID, that man was grocery shopping for people who were homebound. Allison and Jack bring a lot to the table, and personally, my personal opinion, you've never had a group better than what's in front of us right now. It's a respectable group who, yes, I may think it's black and someone else may think it's white, but unified, we approach all of the situations of, we live here, what's the best possible scenario for a resident and for a business? And I bring to the table, I think, a little bit twofold. I see what life is like, obviously like everybody else living here, but we own a business here. You know, is the process transparent? Is it easy when you go to City Hall to get from zoning to planning to code to business to make sure that everything is lined up correctly? A lot of things that I find frustrating are there's a lot of things that are out of our control. There's a lot of things that are more administration run, more union run that, yes, if I had it my way, I would do some things differently, but unfortunately, some situations are, it is what it is. We have a strong police department, we have a strong DPW, we have a strong city that when you dig into it from the council end and the city end, we're on an upswing. Sometimes to the general public, the hard task on our part is we need to look at something and we weren't elected to be your favorite. We were elected to do the right thing and to follow action properly and make the best decision as if it was for all of us. So sometimes I don't necessarily come off as the favorite because it looks like I'm being led in a certain direction, but I look at it from a business standpoint and from a parent and a resident standpoint of what's the best way that we could make the best decisions so that everybody can function here properly and peacefully.
All right. All right, everyone, check back tomorrow night as Lauren continues leading the way into part 4 of this week's segment. Good night. And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.
On this episode of Off the Beaten Path, we sample tons of great food and check out cooking demonstrations at the Tastes of Greater Hazleton. We talk about yet another great Pennsylvania beer, meet with a guitar player from the up-and-coming band Shock Value, and Chris takes his camera to a museum steeped in military history. Pennsylvania is filled with interesting things. You just need to know where to look. Come with us right now as we go off the beaten path. Welcome to another